Hello, welcome to Sister Radio. I'm Aki Thami. Some of you might know me from Sister Library, the first community owned, community run feminist library in South Asia. Just like the library, this space is about celebrating women. Each episode, I'm joined by a different sister for a conversation where we share our experiences and thoughts on everything, including art, activism, growing up, work, and of course, reading books written by female authors. I'm so happy and excited to share that today I'm joined by my most amazing sister, Jerusha Rai. She is an indigenous woman of the Kiratima First Peoples of South Asia. She is a songwriter and a music producer. Jerusha has been experimenting with folk and root sounds, blending in hypnotic psychedelic sensibilities. Her albums Sunsan and A Dark Place to Think are available on all platforms. Please make sure you check them out. Both the albums deal with indigenous identity, displacement, and spirituality from a deeply intimate space. Alright, here we go. Hello, Jerusha. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing all right. So glad to talk to you, Satsi.
Same here. It's amazing to know you and to see what you do and to listen to your music. It's a blessing. It's wonderful, and I admire everything that you do, and I send you love and respect and all that. Where are you sheltered? What's going on? What's happening?
Yeah, right now I'm in my mother's home in Lalitpur, Tobigat, in Nepal.
And how is Nepal coping with this global pandemic?
Yeah, so we have been extending lockdown. Just recently, in the past 2 weeks, there has been a lot of increase in the infected cases, and the number has reached 200 something, I think. Yeah, they were about to open up some of the offices and allow vehicles to pass through at certain times, but I think they are locking down on that as well because of the increased number of cases.
And how are you coping? How's your mental health? How's your physical health? How's family?
Yeah, I think I'm lucky to be living with my mom right now. I think I would have been a bit lost in my head if I was back in the US by myself. It's been okay so far in my household. There's a lot of women. We just gather, make food, try to take care of each other. We're learning from each other skills.
Amazing. What have you been learning?
Yeah, just from my neighborhood Didi. She does sewing, so I'm learning sewing from her, sewing some clothes. yeah, I yeah, and my mother gave me a lot of her blouses to make alterations and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. And yeah, I've been giving them like workout classes. Yeah.
Sweet. And you've also been running the reading group.
Yeah, I was doing a reading from a book for a bit. Yeah, I wasn't really planning to, I wasn't really anticipating anything from it. I was just like gathering some people and reading to them.
No, it was nice. It was really nice. Could you please tell us something about your growing up years? Where did you grow up and stories about your growing up, exciting things you did?
Sure, yeah. So I was raised in Kathmandu. I moved around a lot. I was living with my single mom. So we had to move around a lot within Kathmandu. Yeah, I went to convent school, all girls, for 10 years. That was interesting. What else? I have a very complex religious cultural background. I feel like I come from a mixed caste family. My father is Kirati Pantava, and my from Eastern Nepal, and my mom is Chetri. She is from Dharan in Eastern Nepal as well. Then raised me Christian in this, and growing up, this country was like a Hindu, Hindu majority country. Yeah, very yeah.
Wow. And now you're like all about reclaiming indigeneity and learning about shamanism. So how did that happen?
Yeah, I think it was mostly I started using dance and music for my own healing. I found the connection like, okay, this is like an inheritance from our people, using this for healing. And I think also because also suffer from manic depression, and I had like a episode, and I started researching again the connections between like therapy and our ancestral ways of healing, and yeah, these were like really meaningful to me, and it helped me a lot, make sense of my own experience. So yeah, and I'm just trying to share it with other people so that they may find healing as well.
Amazing. Great. So when did you start with your musical journey? Like, when did you think of becoming a musician? When did you think of
Mm.
starting to experiment with music and dance? When did that happen?
Yeah. I think from childhood, my mom used to send me to a lot of music classes, and I'll tell you a funny story about why I'm not a keyboardist right now. uh, I used to learn keyboard when I was like 9 or 10. And I used to have to go to Budali Sadak, and then there was this Ritik Roshan Kanda,
Mm-hmm.
like Ritik Roshan said something. Do you remember this?
No, I have no idea. What is it?
Okay, Ritik Roshan says something on national television, something bad about Nepal. This is Nepalis just like lose their minds, and like they're like, and there's like just like protests,
Okay,
so that's why I couldn't go to classes anymore. Yeah.
we can do Hrithik Roshan for you not playing the keyboard then.
Yeah, yeah. Blame him.
But I mean, you're doing just fine, like without the keyboard.
Yeah, I think I turned out okay. Yeah.
And how did you migrate? How did that happen?
Okay, yeah. So when I was 19, I moved first to London to study sociology, and I was able to do so because my father was in the British Army, and they were giving out bursaries for Gorkha children. So I was able to study at a big discount there. Yeah, I studied sociology with psychology.
What university did you go to?
Oh, I went to Middlesex University,
Mm.
big Nepali group there. Yeah.
Mhm. And how is being a migrant like in London?
Yeah, I think it was a bit different because like I had a weird relationship with my father. Yeah, but I even when I was in London, I would mostly spend my time with Nepali community, and there was like the diaspora was very well knit. Like we lived close to each other in close communities, and there was pockets in London where there was majority Nepali, and it was a growing diaspora, and I think I had a good time like being with my community there, and I was able to do a lot of creative projects with other Nepali artists there as well. Yeah, it was good for me. And then after that, I moved to the US in 2015, December, and after I graduated. It was for personal romantic reasons. Yeah.
Okay. So now are you permanently in Nepal, or do you divide your time between the US and Nepal?
Yeah, I've been living mostly in the US, and I come back home. I last time I came was in 2018. Before that, 2016, and yeah, this is my third time coming back Nepal, and this is the longest time I've spent, 4 months.
Okay. So
Yeah,
can I ask you, how was it
yeah,
like spending your childhood with
yeah.
a Chetri mom while you are so like native, like like anyone could say that you're a native child. And so how was that? And then while practicing
Yeah.
Christianity.
I think I saw the whole drama of like our colonial history play out in front of my eyes, basically. When I kind of feel like an outsider in every place, in every group.
But it must be so difficult anyway, because like having a single parent and then like one that looks very different from you, I am imagining, and then like just being women in a patriarchal society is hard anyway. And then when you bring indigeneity into picture, it's like it's complex.
I think I would say most of it was defined by patriarchy. Yeah, because my mom had a really hard time, despite being Chetri, and also there's class comes into place. Like my mom was also raised by a single mom, and she's from a very modest background as well. And yeah, it's complex and it's nuanced. She's from like Doran, and most of her friends were indigenous people. And
Yeah, it must be so hard for you because you saw all of this so closely while you were a child. I wish I could just like give you a hug.
also,
Let's move on to like nicer things to talk about. Tell me more about your practice then. Like, how did you start practicing your musical career? How did
Okay.
you go about it?
Okay, yeah, sure, Ani. I think, yeah, when I was in London, some other Nepali creatives kind of picked me up and invited me to play some shows. And it was actually Shreya Rai. Shreya Rai was also a brilliant musician living in London right now, and she invited me to record and play shows. And that's how I started playing my original music. Before that, back in Nepal, I used to play with bands. We had an all-girls Nepali band.
Cute.
Yeah, we went to Battle of the Bands. We played the Cranberries. We were dreaming of becoming rock gods. Yeah.
So cute. I can just imagine you in a girl band, like teenager, angry.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I was very like the silent guitarist type.
So cute. And then, do you have any advice for aspiring musicians? Anything that you would want to say to them? Any suggestions?
Aspiring musicians, I think I would ask them to question the whole standard of music that is put upon us, the way we think about what good music is, and also like how
All the glamour.
yeah, all the glamour, and all that stuff, I I fell for it too, but like, yeah, music, yeah, I think it will do you good to understand that music is for your own healing. Use that. Yeah, don't have much to say. Yeah.
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful and profound. Thanks, sis, for this advice. It's so valuable.
Thank you.
And how has it been after 2 albums? How was it received? And how was your experience putting it together?
Yeah. So I did these albums kind of the first album on my own was a very solitary experience. Produced all the music by myself, and the reception, I think I feel really happy that it is reaching other people who have had the same experiences as me.
Nice. It's brilliant. I have to say it. Like, it's just really, really, really good. I really dig that song. Jo, what's it called? Barud? Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite from your second album.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
really love it. How has it been with the young people, like young aspiring musicians, women? Do you meet them? Do they have something to say to you when you meet them? in Nepal or otherwise like within the Nepali Gorkhali diaspora?
Yeah, definitely. I've been able to meet younger women musicians, yeah, Kathmandu, Lalitpur, Dharan, and back in London and US as well. Yeah, I've been able to collaborate with them. And what do they say? Well, they're happy, I think. Yeah, I would be just like I used to be happy meeting other women musicians. Like I feel like I learn from them as well how to take up space on stages. Like in the music scene, even in the music scene itself, it's very difficult because like it's patriarchal there as well. Like you go, the male band sound check, like the sound guy is very serious into it, and then you go up there and try to sound check, and he's at the bar, stuff like that. Yeah, and just like even seeing like at live shows, women at the front, enjoying themselves. This feels really good, feeling safe, enjoying themselves.
Isn't it a different space altogether to have like a female musician playing and to have women around enjoying themselves, letting loose, and not really having to worry about their safety? I feel it's a magical space, but it's really sad to hear about the men that you have to collaborate with or work with in order to make this happen. That must be so hard. I don't feel really comfortable collaborating with men. I've often found that they are really controlling, not just in what the content of our work is, but also in the way we present ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, in the way, if we are attractive enough for them to take us seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely there are experiences like that, but like, but when I see other women musicians, like how they present themselves in like so many different ways. For example, like Sarina Rai Didi, she plays. She's from the punk band Raikuris, and she's doing a ska band now. I think it's called Kathmandu Killers, and yeah, she is like she plays bass, and yeah, obviously she has a very powerful presence, yeah, she's like singing all these punk songs, yeah, and she had been doing Inarchy bookshops, workshops since 2000s. I know there are like people like that, and then there are also like people like Shriti Pradhan Didi, who is like a very ekdam feminine. We are taught to present with plaited hair because it's supposed to be decent, it's supposed to be modest. And that's why, rock musicians have like rough hair and stuff like that. But then like Shriti Pradhan Didi is like, her lyrics is like, Mero yo chultoma sansarai lukaidinchu, anjuli bhari pani ma ta kholai bagaidinchu huncha ni, and she's like के खालको power को बारेमा कुरा गरिरहेछ.
Which I can roughly translate as, in the braid of my hair I can hide the entire world, and in a handful of water I can flow the entire world. We are nearing the end. Can you suggest some works of female authors that are important to you?
I'm not a big reader. Okay, some of the recent ones I've read, The Wayward Daughter by Shraddha Ghale. I would recommend Asata Shakur's biography. I recently read this Joanna Greenberg भन्नेको I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. It's a semi-autobiography about her experience with schizophrenia. Zadie Smith, White Teeth. She talks about the multicultural diaspora.
Wow, those are some really great book recommendations. I love Ashita Shakur's autobiography, and I would love to read Shraddha Ghale's works. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about her at all. Thank you. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Are there any charities that you're supporting during this time and you want to give a shout out to via this podcast?
Sure. There's Adhikar in Queens, New York. They work with Nepali and Tibetan speaking communities in New York.
And what are they doing during this time? Like, because New York is pretty badly hit.
Yeah. In the past, they have been supporting domestic workers. Yeah, immigrants and refugees.
And are you associated with them in any way?
No, I just know about them. Yeah, doing those are the ones doing work in the diaspora with Atira.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
But I have one final question for you. How can one be a sister supporter? And and before we end, I would also like you to share where our listeners can give you a follow and check out your work.
Okay. I think for me, becoming Didi now, becoming a sister, older sister to like many younger people who are like following me or like following what I say or what music I do. I think towards them I can support by basically telling the truth or like being strong enough to tell the truth and sharing my knowledge, and also like whatever platform I have in more tangible ways, support more younger musicians, younger women musicians, artists, hoping to collaborate with them, making sure I'm not being authoritative when I do it, listening to them. And you can find my music on all the all over the internets, YouTube, SoundCloud. I think that's what people use mostly at Atira. Yeah, all the streaming platforms as well.
That video, it's so amazing. When are you going to drop more videos?
I don't know. Well, we'll see. Yeah, my friends, Shiris Gurung and Sweta Limbu, they made that video.
Where was it shot?
It was, now I don't want to say it. It was in a park in London. Yeah, but this is our reality, Yeah.
But you're reclaiming indigeneity, so like you might as well start from the heart of the empire.
Yeah, fight the belly from the beast from the belly.
Sweet. Sorry, I did not mean to interrupt you. So we can find your albums on Spotify?
Spotify, yeah, Apple Music.
Great. And you're on YouTube too?
YouTube, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, yeah.
And on Instagram and Twitter?
In Instagram and Facebook, yeah.
Thank you, Jerusha. That's all the questions for you. Thank you so
much. Thank you so much for having me, Annie. Yeah, I'm so glad to be able to talk to you, Annie. Yeah, I'm so encouraged and inspired by all the work you do and your art as well. And yeah,
same. I love you so much.
Yeah, I love you too.
Keep doing everything that you do, and see you soon. Don't fall sick. Wash your hands and take care. Yeah,
take care. All right, bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
God. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Sister Radio. You just heard a conversation between me, Akithami, and Jerusha Rai. Make sure to check out her albums available on all streaming platforms and on YouTube. You can also follow her on Instagram at JerushaRai_. If you want to support Sister Library, please check our crowdfunder. You can follow us on Instagram at sister.library and on Twitter at sisterlibrary. You can write to us at ilovereadingwomen@gmail.com. Music for Sister Radio is produced by Shasha Patel. Thank you. See you next time and keep celebrating women.